Ashleigh Tavaska just wrapped up her collegiate career as a star softball player with Caldwell University, and as she embarks on her next chapter, she stopped by to talk about her time on the diamond as well as what lies ahead. Ashleigh, thanks so much for coming on, and congratulations on a fantastic career.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. So let's go back to the beginning. When did you first develop a passion for sports and softball in particular?
I would say around when I was 7 or 8, my dad threw me into rec ball, and instantly you could tell I loved to swing a bat and run the bases. So right then and there, that's when I developed my passion, and then quickly carried over to travel ball when I was 9.
Now, who were some of your early influence, whether they be athletes, relatives? Who inspired you at a young age?
I would have to say my older sister, Kieran. She was playing travel ball when I was young, and although I hated being dragged to the field and having to sit through long days in the beating hot sun, eventually, when I got a little bit older, I actually loved to sit down and watch her play, her teammates play, and seeing them wearing those uniforms, those gloves, bats, helmets. So I would say her.
Now, I read that you were unsure about whether you even wanted to play college softball, but it was obviously a smart decision. What made you decide that this was ultimately the right thing to do for you?
It just felt right in my heart. Throughout high school, I was a three-sport athlete, and I was burnt out and didn't really want to play in college. But once my senior year came along, my high school coach had a few connections, and she reached out to Caldwell. And when I went and visited Coach Dean and the campus, it just felt right, and nothing was telling me to turn away or walk away. So.
Now, you mentioned your older sister. Your younger sister was on the team with you this year. Talk about your relationship and your influence over her.
Me and my younger sister have a love-hate kind of relationship, more love though. But I was kind of a guidance for her when adjusting from high school to college. Coming from a travel ball team and playing at a collegiate level is a big adjustment, and I kind of just helped her adapt to things that I struggled with as a freshman, which helped her in her success her freshman year. So.
It's fantastic. Now, your team finished 24-24 this year. Talk about some highlights and memorable moments from your final season.
One memory I'll forever have and remember is more towards postseason, our conference tournament that we were playing in. We were playing Georgian Court, and we had to win both games that day. So we played double headers, and we won the first game, and it was down to the second game that we needed to win. We were in the seventh inning, losing by two. There's two outs, and there was also runners on first and second, and I came up. And that day, I was not doing good at all. Didn't really get a hit, wasn't on base. And as I was stepping into the box, I looked at my coach, and she saw that I didn't really have enough confidence within myself. So she called timeout, gave me a little pep talk, and kind of shook me to just be in the present moment, forget about all my up bats beforehand earlier that day. And she just told me that she believes in me and whatnot. So I walked back to the box and went along with my at bat, and eventually got a double and scored those two runs in to tie the game and go into overtime. And just as soon as I reached second base and I looked up at the stands and in the dugout, everyone jumping, it really gave me a good feeling. And it made me remember that my teammates and everyone believed in me in that moment.
Stuff that movies are made of. Love it. Now, you say
Yes.
you owe a lot of your success to several people at Caldwell University. What were some valuable lessons you learned during your time there?
The biggest one is to just be grateful for all of the opportunities and the small things that happen. So the people that I've met, the staff was great. They really helped me out with my whole kind of college experience there. I was injured for 2 consecutive seasons, and without them getting me through that, I wouldn't have done as good as I did. And kind of, I grew a lot from that moment, and they definitely helped me through that. on top of professors too, they helped me get to where I am today and made me realize what I wanted to do as my future career. So I cannot thank them enough. And the biggest, again, valuable lesson is just to be grateful for all the opportunities that come to you.
And I ask this question to a lot of successful athletes that I have on the show. What measures do you take to stay one step above the rest of the competition that's out there?
The biggest thing for me was my confidence, and you always have to show up with confidence every day, especially in the game of softball. If you don't have confidence, you're not going to be really successful. So just knowing that in a way I am better than the other team, and no matter what, um, I am the, not saying, just like the confidence wise, just believing in myself and believing that I'll be successful towards the team.
Being confident is totally
Yeah.
okay, because there's a huge difference between being confident and being cocky, which you're not. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this. Are you planning on staying active in the athletic world post-college, or are you planning on a different path entirely?
If the opportunity comes to me, I'll definitely take it. But as of right now, I'm just gonna try to focus on grad school and PT school, which starts in August. So
And last question, what do you think you'll miss most about being at Caldwell University?
just the environment and the people I've met, and honestly, just walking around the campus. It's like I built a second home there, and it's a lot to say goodbye to. So I'm just gonna miss the whole thing about having a college experience and being away from home and having to build a second world and no longer having that. So
Ashleigh Tavaska, star shortstop and an All-American with Caldwell University, thanks so much for coming on and sharing your story.
thank you so much for having me, Mike.
Our pleasure.